All right, everybody, welcome back. This is We Play Games. Here we are. We're playing a little bit of Komei. So we did do the run, and we got it with a 54 on it, and that's pretty good. I'm quite satisfied with that. But that's obviously it's not over, right? Like there still remains this Komei restoration over here, the event. So this is where obviously like again, if you're watching this chat and paying closer attention, you could have started working on some of these other things a long time ago, in preparation for the restoration. I basically just didn't do law work for like 2 years because I just wanted to talk about the game. But that's because yeah, I like this to be simultaneous. This is really mostly just tutorial videos at this point. Um, once we've got enough people doing a lot of competition here, then I might pay closer attention, but that's only a might. That's only a might. You know me. All right. So what do we need to do? We in order to finish the restoration, we need to hit these three things. So we're going to need to make sure that the samurai are not powerful, not part of the government. So the next election that we're going to have to probably readjust things and bring somehow the shogun into power and then do stuff. That seems pretty strange, but you know what? That's okay. The election is in 134 days. So 134 days, you say. So we could potentially just try to roll on this because that would only waste a month, versus where we currently are. Because what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about switching over to serfdom abolished whenever we get our new government together without the samurai and with strangely the landowners. And then we'll have the intelligentsia and the industrialists, because the intelligentsia and the industrialists are just going to work together pretty consistently for most of the rest of the game. At least if we want them to. You have a lot of options when it comes to playing as Japan. We could even go into cursed mode and play as Republican Japan, and then just expand that way. That would be really fun. So I'm just gonna start it off as a low level. All right, so we've got that. We've got absolutely no fleet. Okay, so we do need to get a fleet. That's good to know. That's good to know. I like being aware of where our deficits are. I think probably. Oh wait, we don't even actually want to add you there because now we gotta figure out what we need to urbanize, right? So we need to get all these things to like level 5 urban centers, and so what we can do, not because it's a huge difference, but it's a little bit of urbanization. We know we need to build these naval bases anyway, right? We know we need to have some naval bases on the board just so that we can conduct some naval invasions of places, because you're gonna want to conduct some naval invasions of places. I can basically guarantee that. I don't think I'm gonna work on Hokkaido. I think if I can just get all except Hokkaido up to the goal. Task capacity doesn't do anything. And the input good shortages are okay. Our taxes are fine. We're not running a major deficit, and we're in the middle of the taxation level. Luxury closes at 4. It's okay. That's fine. Government wages are really high right now. We don't have to necessarily keep them that high, but it does give more strength to the intelligentsia. Are they still gonna be happy? Yeah, everyone's still gonna be happy on high instead of very high, and it saves us a little bit of money. So I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say no. So we are losing power rank, but as we build a fleet up, then that'll help a lot in terms of trying to keep ourselves strong. Oh no, the petit bourgeoisie. So the petit bourgeoisie we could potentially keep in order to keep them important. We could start bolstering them, but I don't think that I need that bonus that much. But be aware that that is something that you can do. You absolutely can do that. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go ahead and let this roll one time. It'll cost us a month to do that, but then we can immediately switch back after the election. All right, yeah, we'll fight back. We will improve relations, however. Because we're not really using our influence for a lot because we're not burning off any infamy right now, so there's no reason for us to not be spreading our love around as Japan. So we want to work down towards electrical generation. Mechanical workshops is a very good one. we could take agriculture. That one's good too. So is reinforced concrete, but you'll see here that concrete's 8 years. Like, that's not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. We could even take crystal glass, but it's all the same. We just want to reduce the overall cost of the technology for electricity, because that'll make it a lot more reasonable for us to be trying to build it. I think as you guys realize the power of building things that make sense when you want to build them, everything will work out. Everything will work out. All right, so we need motor industries at level 3. You say? All right, where in the heck did I put that? There we go. There we go. Oh, right. We're in an input goods shortage, Walker. Don't just say, oh, right, we're in an input goods shortage. Jeez, come on. Come on. All right, we got railway. That's fine. Yep, good. Urban, okay. Yep. So I could be adding these transportation, the rail transportation to here. I might want to do that. It basically just means that they have to buy an extra good off of the market, which you'd say maybe that's not a good thing, but like that's the sort of thing that decreases the amount of subsidies that we have to pay, because it demands that somebody else buys that stuff. All right, so we have a lot of options here right now because we're aiming to make the samurai not powerful. It's time for the right to be abolished. Right, that one's pretty straightforward. Obligation to Sweden, I'm also not even worried about. That one's totally fine. And then we get this election. The Constitutional Reform Party is not going to get nearly as many votes as I was hoping. We did not get a momentum event, which means that unfortunately the samurai are going to get a lot of political power here. And we will finish working on agrarianism in August. All right. So if we do this, nope. We don't need peasants anymore. All right, so if we kept the samurai, we would have a lot of institutional resistance to ending serfdom, which is really very much not what we're looking for. So we could even bring our old friend Oshio back. Bring the samurai back in so that way they can watch us pass a bill ending serfdom. The thing is that the peasants do add a 6% success chance to ending serfdom, which is also a big deal. So maybe we'll just reorganize like this. Why can't we do that? Cannot be promoted to power while suppressed. Oh, we can fix that. Stop suppressing. Done. And that saves us 200 authority, which we then can turn around and turn into taxes. Sure. Why not? Why not? I love taxation. It's one of my very favorite things. I'm addicted to taxation, chat. You're addicted to everything. You've gone mad with power. I'm very pleased with the progress that the community has made so far. We've got people. We got Ush turning in 1853. We've got apparently there's some people who are working on entirely different lines over here. Let's see. Hey, all right. Well, you know what? Sometimes you roll on stuff and you get lucky, and sometimes you roll on stuff and you don't. And we rolled on stuff and we got lucky. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm gonna roll on serfdom abolished. It's time. It is 1,000% time. It might get the landowners and the samurai really angry, but once the samurai are no longer so angry, then things will be cool, right? Right. Please. -15 is pretty spookum. But fortunately, once we've finished up with the samurai, then you'll see that it actually doesn't matter that much that they're mad right now. Oh, we've constructed everything. We're just missing some. We could build more government admin buildings. That's another way to increase the urbanization locally, because they're 20 each. It's quite a lot. It is quite a lot. So yeah, we could do some furniture, I guess. Do we have any other things that would be a use? Because I would be totally fine spreading out some of our industries as well. I don't have any reason to fight that. Like, we could do another glass industry in Tohoku. But we do have glass industry here in Chubu, so we might as well just do that. And this guy will switch over to military shipbuilding, so that way we can support our little nascent navy. 15 is not a lot. We may end up wanting to go up to a size 30. Yeah, I know. This is very scary. They are very mad. They are very mad. They have made it extremely clear that they are indescribably furious, and that they are going to stop at nothing to overthrow us. And so now the question is, do we believe them? Do we believe the shogunate? I think generally it's okay to make them mad when you think they're not going to be able to form the political strength necessary to do a revolution. And I think that as we build stuff up and just kind of bury them in points, in construction points, that it won't be an issue anymore. Okay, so we're working. Again, some of these things are actually totally fine to be input goods. Where steel railway cars is cool. Hey, look at that. We're just getting events after events after events. All right, so this could potentially reduce the strength of the samurai, but this could increase the happiness of the samurai. That could be okay. I wouldn't mind increasing the happiness of the samurai, even if it increases their strength a little bit. I'm still not super worried. All right, so the cost on wood has gone up quite a lot. So on hardwood, that is. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just add a 10 stack in Chugoku. I'm not still wasting. God damn it! Every time, Walker. Every time you're wasting it. Every time. Unbelievable. All right. Well, we will continue to try to make good use out of that. Engines are being solved. Good. So right now I'm just looking for things that are going to be useful for the economy, because I think that's all we really need is growth. Yeah, we could do a 5 stack of coal here. And if we get water tube boiler, we get even more coal. So that may even be worth doing in the future as well. I wonder if that'll fix our bureaucracy problem, or if we should add another one. It might not be a bad idea to add one more. And we'll add another layer of paper mill as well. Because at this point, really, I'm just trying to do the industrialization, right? And just make sure that everyone gets up to at least a level 5 urban center, because that's a Komei restoration event. Might as well pin those. Those are all going to be really helpful to keep an eye on. Logistics unlocked. Branching out. So we could do branching out. We have 5 more years to do that. Atmospheric engine. Cash reserves more than 25%. What? Oh, if I research the water tube boiler, then I end that. That's okay. I don't mind. Some of these things I'm like interacting with for the first time. Like I think I've done these guys, but I've never actually finished all 3 of them in the same run. So we'll see how it ends up. I suspect that it's probably okay. I also suspect that I should probably just switch all of my construction over to iron. I think we have enough. Yeah. I don't think that's a big difference. I think that's turned literally Chubu's 1 stack or something like that into one, but that's okay. We have enough construction going on and enough gold reserves building up that we actually probably should go ahead and build some more building. And I wouldn't even mind building more building in Chubu, because Chubu has a fairly large population, right? 5.8 million. That's a big deal. And so having like a 4 stack of construction there, I think is going to be actually very helpful for us in the long run. And the more that we use this investment pool, we can build it up as... Oh, geez, Pete's Walker, did you? Yeah, you're working on Serfdom Abolished. All right, right. Right, right, right. So we do have a stall chance, and the stall chance is going to be based off of the strength of these guys. This is a real fight here. This is a real fight here. I'm hoping that our 75% chance, or 73.4% chance, is enough to help push this through, but it might not be. If in the event that the serfdom abolished roll ends up failing miserably, I might pause it and see what else we can do, but I think it'll be okay for now. I think it will be okay for now. And look at that, we're building at 93 a turn. I like that. I like building at 93 a turn, because we could build even faster. We could build even faster. So I don't really encourage people to start building the extra construction sectors in like Tohoku and Chubu and whatever until after you kind of get to this point. But now that we're at this point, I don't have any concerns. Just trying to put a little bit of construction sectors here, because they'll give us some extra construction efficiency locally in case we need that. All right, we got an enactment success by 15%. Good. We're running towards serfdom. And then once we've done that, we'll probably add isolationism and then closed borders. Oh, right, we should change our weapons around. Absolutely change our weapons around. Otherwise we're gonna be weak. And that is going to require us to build an arms industry, but I'm happy building an arms industry. I think a level 2 is probably enough. We'll see. If I have to go up to a level 3, I won't be disappointed. It'll be totally fine. We'll also probably want to just add a little bit of education here for a little bit of qualifications. Just to have some qualifications in your capital is not a bad idea. A little bit of extra coming from stuff other than wealth. I like thematically what you've got going on there with the with those guys, because they're telling you that, like, yes, education is important and it's important to the development of your society and stuff, but it's not gonna teach people how to read, right? A university is not intended for people who do not know how to read. It's intended for people who do. And that's kind of what we have going on there. All right, so we have 405 urbanization in Chugoku, so we need another 100. But we can get another 100. We can do a little bit of construction and whatnot. We've got overages on a lot of stuff, but we could just dump a bunch of sulfur mines in here, because we're gonna pick up whatchamacallit soon. We're gonna pick up fertilizer soon. And I wouldn't mind having another sulfur mine going down here in Chugoku. Yeah, after we get mechanized workshop, I think I'm going to pick up intensive agriculture. Maybe I should have just done that first. No, I like mechanized workshop. It lets me use more tools, which is, on that note, perhaps might make sense to do more tools somewhere in here. But we'll find out. Is this a large enough naval base? Probably not. We can increase Shikoku by 10. By going up to a 25 stack, that means that it doesn't matter if these guys are kind of like spread out like this. We can start invading in Southeast Asia pretty soon. I do want to wait until we get probably an 8 or a 9. And I also probably want to wait until we get access to percussion cap. Because with percussion cap, we could use ammunition stuff in here. We could use skirmish guys. And skirmish guys are just bananas. I mean, they're so good. They're an incredible upgrade in terms of their offensive capability. Although, frankly, with 2 3s, we probably could beat most of these guys up. It might also behoove us to see. We can't really gain anything from them. I guess we could gain stuff from them. Let's go down here. What I'm hemming and hawing about is I think I'm probably going to. Oh, I'm aware of that. I'm working on it. I'm probably gonna find out a way to be peaceful and friendly with the Dutch East Indies. Rivalry broken. Okay. Industrialists going. Cool. And here we are. We're rocking and we're rolling. So if you want a lot of extra money, you can increase the power of the industrialists. There are a lot of different ways that we can do to accomplish that. But after removing serfdom, we're going to kind of naturally be drawn to the things that are going to make the industrialists strong anyway. So I'm not worried about like rushing them in the beginning of the game, because I don't think worth it. I don't think it's going to do the things that you're hoping it is going to do for you. So we did revoke swords rights. We could potentially fire some people too. That would be potentially useful for reducing the overall clout of the samurai. So that way they have no choice but to be we could even reduce their support again. Again, anytime you see it where they're mainly being supported by peasants, what that means is the more that you construct, the weaker that these people are going to become, no matter kind of what you construct, unless you construct things that build peasants. And if you're building things that are building peasants, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't think that is strong. That doesn't mean that you can't do it. That does not mean that you cannot do it. You can do whatever you want to. But it is definitely weaker. I think I'm gonna go ahead and build some tooling workshops. Like we're not behind per se by that much, but I don't see any reason to get any further behind on those. And if we're gonna be doing that, actually, we probably want to pick up some iron mines, but in Tohoku. In this case, it would definitely be more economically efficient to build in Kanto because of the throughput bonus from economies of scale. But keep in mind, we're not really worried about that right now. What we're worried about is making sure that we hit level 5 urban centers everywhere, and iron mines add urbanization. So I'm okay just adding a 10 stack of urbanization here. And then I'll probably add a stack of railway. I'll probably add a couple of these too, if I'm being entirely honest. Yeah, you know what? We can eat a couple of construction sectors in Tohoku. Our economy is our economy is way too big to not be doing cool stuff like this. And we got a giant investment pool too. So if we get this serfdom abolished role, then we'll immediately go in and try to switch to mercantilism, because the industrialist support, it's not going to be as powerful as going into protectionism, but I don't care. Mercantilism is not about is it better than protectionism or not. It's about is it better than isolationism, and the answer there is pretty clearly yes. And I don't really care about it being much better or not, because again, I just need to get something done, and I want it to be able to get through with minimal resistance. That's kind of what I'm doing. Hey, we got serfdom abolished. Awesome. All right. So now we could go in here and we could change to per capita taxation. That also wouldn't be unreasonable. The petit bourgeoisie, that would just be industrialists and peasants who care about that. I don't know about that. Isolationism, I think that one's ready to go. Let's go to mercantilism. Let's go into mercantilism. So now we need to suppress the samurai. Yeah, we need to suppress the samurai. So let's stop bolstering the intelligentsia and just start. Nope, not bolstering. Start suppressing the samurai, because now we just need to make them not powerful, and then we tick that, and then it's done, and then we don't even have to keep suppressing them anymore. It'll be a fairly short suppression, I think. I hope. He says, and then a wave of dread passes over him, and he goes, "Oh no, I've cursed myself again." Mechanized workshop. Okay, sure, yeah. So the economy of scale building cap, it's not just like always there. You do have to make effort to actually use it. So I am gonna briefly pick up intensive agriculture, because look, it's 6 years to research electrical generation. If we just pick up agriculture and water tube boilers and maybe one other thing, then generation is going to become a lot less expensive. And then we can still get generation in like the early 60s, probably. That would be really good. Very, very good. All right, we need hardwood. Right, we need hardwood. I feel like I said that and then completely ignored it. That sounds like me. That does sound like me. All right, that's okay. We got that going on. What do we got going on over here? We got some of this. We got some transportation. Clothes, grain. I don't know about grain. Like you guys can eat wood, right? Unhelpful. You can eat wood. You'll be fine. We could do a little more. No, that's okay. Oh, right. We need to do this in order to use to get more mana wars, right? Is that it? That'll also get me more mana wars. No, that'll get me more clippers. But then I can switch in the other direction, right? Okay, yeah, Prussia, you have much to teach us. I'm thrilled to be working with you on mercantilism. I just want to get as much stuff on ending this as possible. Hey, yeah, go ahead. Try to form a revolution. I dare you. We don't need to be building at this speed, but I think it's probably advantageous just simply because we have 3 million gold reserve to build as fast as we can and just see where we go. So we're building a bunch of tooling workshops, some iron mines, and a railway. All right, that seems about right. How are we doing on urbanization here now? 50. We need 45. Okay, so that each of those is going to be 20. So I just need to make sure I do 2 more glassworks, and then I'll throw a paper mill in there for good measure. Not because I'm worried about like, oh, am I going to go through it or not, but like its productivity is kind of high, and when you're trying to assess whether or not it's worth it to build a building, that's what I would recommend people take a look at primarily. That's the one that's going to have the most useful information, I think. We could also start building up Shikoku, because we're going to need to. It is inevitable. French investments. Yeah, everyone wants to get in on this. I don't mind handing out obligations to Europe because these are going to expire, and so eventually I'll just have gotten something for comparatively little. They do have the ability to use the obligations to mess around with me, but I'm not super worried about it. All right, so we're an unrecognized major power. So we're not really in the position yet where I need to demand recognition. But apparently there is a way to do it where you just like attack Malaysia, you attack Singapore, and you capture it, and then you just defend against the British. It sounds incredibly brave, and I want to see video footage of it. Let's see. Ah, man. Yeah, Shromore has been the one who's been working on a really good war rep strategy that I think you could even combine with this one. So what I like about this is that I'm talking a lot, and just that alone I think is funny to me. But because I'm an idiot. But I do like the fact that a lot of what I'm showing you here, if you like part of it and you don't like other parts, you can take it apart, right? This is a Lego. This is a Lego strategy. And if you're looking at it and you're like, well, yeah, but I really do want to try to do this instead of that, go ahead and do that and just switch the things around. It's okay. I won't mind. Like, just do things in a different order. Or don't bolster, the devout or whatever. I think bolstering devout is actually very strong, and I hope that the people who have watched this video agree. Not because necessarily like I care about whether or not Oshio is like now. If Oshio had just died, I would have a very strong industrialist, but it's okay. He's going to very soon. He's 63 years old, he says, and then gets the one run where Oshio lives to be 105. But they're very rare. They're very, very rare. And even if he does, again, peasants, clergymen, aristocrats, every single one of them we can remove with industry, right? There's no reason for us to have those guys employed unless we want them. Okay, so that is going to increase the price of dyes. But that's great because we need a reason to build in Shikoku. And dyes are a wonderful reason to build in Shikoku. Because dyes, once we've built that up, we'll have a massive balance. And that's going to dramatically increase the productivity in all of those textile mills. And glassworks, actually. Everywhere. Everywhere. Around the world. Dancing in the street. We're at 59. Okay. So Chugoku is done. Chubu still needs a little work, but we will come back and fix up Chugoku. Chubu's not going to be too hard. Bounce around here, bounce around there, do a little bit of logging. It's never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. I have abandoned my boy, haven't I? Yep. That's pretty typical. That's pretty typical. Put it in chat. Put it in chat. So here we are. We're just exploring this little bit out here. Hey, mercantilism. Awesome. Yeah, I mean that's sort of like we're just moving through the laws, right? We're just moving through the laws. So we finished mercantilism. Now we need migration controls. Because I don't really care if we have migration controls or if we have the other one. It doesn't matter. Because once we've finished it, we'll have ended Sakoku, and we're gonna go into multiculturalism pretty quickly anyway. So I don't care if we make it so that some people can't come in. Oh, right, we no longer need to be suppressing them because we've finished that part of it. Plus, we don't have nearly as much authority because we lost it all because we gave it back to the people. That's a flavor win. I'm gonna stop taxing tobacco because that's something that relatively poor people will also purchase, and I want to make sure that they have easier access to money than wealthy people. Because the wealthy people, again, they're just like they always get in the way. They always want the state to treat them fancy, and that's not what we're all about here at We Play Games. We're all about getting those numbers up. Get those numbers up. Pump the jams. Yeah. All right. This is looking okay. Surah purposes, radicals. I don't know. It could be either one, honestly. I think we're starting to move in the direction where I don't care as much about radicals out of the powerful, the wealthy and powerful, because they just can't really stop us anymore. He says, yet again, tempting fate. It's just sort of my vibe. Like, if I'm not going to tempt fate, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. We got mechanical tools. We've got a lot of extra iron. That's great. I love having a lot of extra iron. Is there anything else that we could be doing to like just really, really jazz up the economy here? I don't know. Because we really do want to just stay focused and build as much as humanly possible. Intensive agriculture is going to be really helpful because we are going to need something to do with all of our sulfur. And agriculture is definitely a great thing to do with sulfur. You can build some really big population centers with fertilizers because you just don't need a whole lot of pops out there just like working in the fields. Come on, armed forces. Like, you're not doing this anymore. You're not doing this anymore. Leave us alone. Just be cool. Just be cool, man. Like, come on. Just be cool. We could even do silk plantations too. So the reason that I like those now at this stage in our economic development is that we're rapidly moving towards an open interaction with the world. And if we're openly trading with the rest of the world, then it's going to be pretty easy for us to get value out of those sorts of industrial cash crops. But even if nobody does come by and buy them, I won't mind, because the fact of the matter is that the more industrial cash crops we have locally, the cheaper it'll be for us to do industries, right? Industrial cash crops pay into industries. Sulfur mines, in this case, pay into nobody, because I haven't built any intensive agriculture yet, or any chemical plants yet. They're just kind of there. All right. Well, this is where we could start using our navy and just see how we go. We could do that. I mean, I don't know. We could definitely do that. Absolutely do that. I might also want to slot in colonization here soon on my law book. I gotta finish this stuff first. Finish this stuff first, and then I'll pick up colonization. I'm just not super worried about it is the problem. Because colonization, it's good, but it's not like... I don't think it's absolutely critical yet, because I haven't even begun to do powerful things here. Yeah, I know. You're right. You were 100% right. 10% penalty for saying the truth. 10% penalty. Closed borders. Come on, baby. We just need to do that. That's all we need. And we could do that by having... Oh. By having this. Right. Because we don't even need them anymore. Sorry, peasants. You were helpful to get rid of serfdom, but you know how this is. We are, if nothing else, evil. We are going to use you. Also think a 20 stack is insane. Just do 10 at a time. Just do 10 at a time. Just do 10. Jeez, Walker. Come on. Maybe we'll do some wood down here, though. I wouldn't mind doing some logging camps. I think, again, the development of resources internally is going to kind of depend at this point on A, what your economy needs, and B, what your urbanization demands are. Because, oh, look, a train! A train, chat! Yeah! So cute! So cute. The demands here... All right, artillery. Oh, did I not... Dang it. Oops. Oopsie daisy. All right, let's see how that does. I think that'll be okay. I'm afraid there's nothing we can do. There's just not a lot of them, so I'm not gonna stretch my neck out to try to defend that. They are an insurrectionary group, so I can't add them. But I could still bring our buddy Oshio back for 2 more legitimacy. Absolutely. Oshio, why don't you come back in and tell us how to get migration controls finished, please? You know all about fighting the shogunate, don't you, young man? Crazy. What a game. I'm just having so much fun in Victoria 3. We're doing a really interesting thing here. So we did end isolation. So we could go through and we could say, all right, like wood, for instance, I don't think it's very likely that anybody is going to buy it, but I wouldn't mind if people sold it to me. And so I'm going to go through and I'm just going to say, hey, if you want to buy this stuff, you can. Same thing here. Like if you want to come by and buy my clothes, you can. I want the AI to feel like it's totally okay to just come down here and buy my stuff. I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm putting it up there on the market so that way they can decide for themselves if they want it. Well, all right, that was RNG, and I hope that you guys appreciate that will not happen most of the time. But sometimes the RNG is bad. Sometimes RNG is good. We've had good RNG and bad RNG in the campaign. Oh, right, and we want to encourage you. And we want to encourage you. And I'll export a little bit of clothes to Qing and to Burma. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, absolutely we'll do that. And that will have a penalty kind of to our SOL, but not really, because it just means that everyone's just going to make an absolute goddamn fortune. And that's what industrialization is really all about. Everybody makes a goddamn fortune. Well, except for the people who get exploited. But everybody else, everybody who is not getting exploited is going to make a goddamn fortune. All right, so now we can work on another. We'll just keep moving through laws. What can land-based move into? We can move into per capita. Absolutely. Because per capita, see, 22 extra per turn. Like we can, if we just get per capita gone, then we're still heading. We're racing towards the end. We're racing towards the end. Just money, and construction. All right, who else is in favor of per capita? Because that's a lower success rate than I'd like, given how many people are in favor of it. So we could have peasants, industrial, petty bourgeoisie, or even armed forces in government. Armed forces are no longer powerful. I'm gonna suspect that if we include the petty bourgeoisie here, it's gonna hurt our legitimacy so much that it's not worth it. We could include them again. I'll roll it once on 18% with a higher legitimacy just to get it done faster. The other thing, of course, that we can do to get it done faster is reduce taxes, but I don't want to be burning that fast. I'm okay if we go into debt. That's a-okay. But I don't want to go massively into debt for no reason. I want to be going into debt for very specific reasons. And in this case, we're just building stuff. The specific reason that we've gone into debt is to build stuff, because I like building stuff. This is a really just a wonderful game, I think. All right, so we're at 3, 2. We are going to be pretty close to being able to just attack China and then die pretty hard. All right, so let's see. If we were to start taking vassals, we could potentially do it now. All right, you know what? Do you have any friends? You have a defensive pact with Portugal. Okay, that's a friend. That is a friend. What about you? Do you have any friends? You don't have any friends. Blangan, I've got some good news and some bad news, and it's really the same news. You're gonna be a vassal, I think is where we're going with this. Yeah, there we are. Got ourselves a vassal, or we're going to. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mobilize someone. Probably just a small group. Yeah, we'll just do Shikoku. Shikoku will be plenty. Hey, Constitutional Reform Party. Done. There it is, 1858. We have powerful industrialists. Powerful industrialists and plenty of money. We do need to move into, not agrarianism, interventionism after this capital thing. Because interventionism, it might not have even been worth it for us to work on agrarianism where we were in the there was a lot of spew in the 54. There was a lot of spew in the 54. It's a lot of fun. It's a very complicated game. It's pretty easy to make mistakes. So don't beat yourself up about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. I don't know about my favorite things in Victoria 3. I think my favorite things in Victoria 3 right now are just how much I can learn. Kutai and Aceh. So we could potentially add those as other make vassals, but I'm not particularly interested in that right now. I'll come back for them, but I really just kind of want to get somebody vassalized, because if we can get anyone vassalized, we will very, very quickly find ourselves in a position where we can spread throughout Indonesia. It's a great location too. If you don't understand, there are a lot of states that have this Borneo rainforest on it. Hardwood output is really good. Really, really good. Plus, there's great resources down there. All right, so we could do a government reform. We could do Oshio out and bring in the peasants, but that would just be such a dramatic decrease in legitimacy for a 7% increase here. I don't think it's worth it. I'm not 100% sure. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think it is worth it. If we really, really, really wanted to, then what we would do, of course, is we'd remove the luxury tax there and maybe that one there. Yeah, we need to build more clothes. That's what we need. We need to build more clothes. People love clothes. Post in chat if you like clothes. Let me know. I want to know who likes clothes. Naval invasion. We are going to send the small group down first just to see how they do. Because I don't particularly feel like having somebody bounce off just again because they were like, oh no, I invaded with a stack that was too small. Or rather with a fleet that was too small versus the stack. Hopefully we don't have issues where we have like things stall out because they don't get enough enough support here. But I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. Whoa, because we're spending investment pool money again. Just put IP to work. Hey, all right. Wow. Okay. Well, again, there's lots of stuff that can happen in terms of RNG. There's lots of stuff that can happen in terms of RNG. All right, so we can't actually do from mercantilism to protectionism, but I don't really care about that. Can we go to interventionism? You can just go into interventionism, or you can go straight into laissez-faire. LF is pretty dangerous because in order to get maximum value out of it, you do need a ton of capitalists. And right now, our capitalist pops almost certainly are not very big. They have a lot of political strength, but not very big. I mean, we can do it. If you have a strong opinion either way, then you probably could go in any direction. But agrarianism, I don't think we need anymore. It could just drop straight to cultural exclusion, but we would need to remove the Buddhist monks. We need egalitarianism in order to go into multiculturalism. That's what we really want to do. We could do wealth voting. Yeah, let's go to wealth voting. It'll cost me a little bit of authority, but that's okay. We're by going into wealth voting instead of census suffrage, we're getting just a faster pass on it. Other than that, it really doesn't make a big difference. It also allows us to get more political strength from votes, even from people who don't know how to read. Whereas census will have problems with people not having literacy, especially right now because we still have not yet set up a school system. We should probably aim to set up a school system. Oh, we should probably aim to build things, huh? All right. Oh, right. We can build a the chemical plant. There's got to be somebody off screen yelling, "Build a chemical plant," but it's okay. The goal here is to demonstrate that no matter who you are, you can learn how to play these games. It doesn't matter how complicated Paradox Interactive games look like on the outside. I promise that if you want to learn how to play them, you can. There are going to be lots of resources that are going to help you get there, and I really want to make this channel one of them. I don't want it to make the only one. There are plenty of people who have lots of good and interesting and fun things to say about the game, but I do want to make this one of them. I want to make this a home for people who care about Victoria 3. Yeah, all right, sure. See, we could have taken a vassalized Wargol on Kutai, but I just didn't think it was necessary. I don't think it adds a lot to the overall strength of our position by trying to vassalize Kutai in this war, because it might have driven our infamy up and caused somebody else to hop in over here, and I just don't want to have to deal with that stress, right? We basically gained 0 infamy from this war. So we can start picking up like Siak and Aceh. That would be pretty strong, actually. Yeah, I know you're going to want to preserve land voting. That sort of sounds like a you problem, though. Okay, so more tools wouldn't be unheard of. Hey, excuse me. Rude. Do you see this, chat? Russia, belligerent, unbelievable, just unbelievable. How dare they? So the more that we construct up our navy, the easier it's going to be for us to project power overseas, because that will give us more interests, and interests are going to be the things that are going to necessarily give us a way to project our power. both because they can invade with larger stacks, but also just because of the game mechanic of adding interests off of those. Nitroglycerin spreading, good, because we're building our chemical plants literally right now. Literally right now. Here on We Play Games. So we could build some cotton plantations too. That's another thing that you can do if you want to at this point, because I'm not worried about strengthening the landowners. That sounds like a problem from 10 years ago for me. Yeah, all right, cool, we got it. Bulangan. So we could now start and just keep going, but I think really I do recommend that you fight the people who are usually going to be your enemies first. So like this guy, he's wary. If we make him a vassal, we face the Dutch East Indies, you say. We face the Dutch East Indies, you say. Well, you're allied with Siak and Sintang, and you're a dominion of the Netherlands, who in turn has an alliance with them. I don't know. Maybe this is the actual thing, which is transfer subject. Can we do a transfer subject? Maybe we have to gain. Yeah, I need to become a recognized country, and then it costs 100 infamy. All right, never mind. We're not going to do that. We could do release though. That would definitely be fine. We could do liberate subject. Nah, I'll wait until I get skirmish infantry to mess with the Dutch East Indies. They're just not worth bothering with. I was supposed to work on colonialism. All right, so if we're working on landed voting, we could. Oh, and we have schools too. See, there's just so many laws that need to be done, and because there's just so many laws that need to be done, and because I'm not like great at paying attention and forget what I'm doing. Ooh, there we go. They're not powerful anymore. Oshio's ability to persuade the populace no longer matters, because now this is not being used for anything. All right, so now we can go here and do some fertilizing. That's the good stuff. That is the good stuff. And ammonia soda process. Those are going to be some really, really productive chemical plants, fortunately. Honest work. Yep, that's good. And I am going to go ahead and set these as protect domestic supply. I recommend whenever you're developing an entirely new industry that you go ahead and just do domestic supply as much as possible, because I don't trust them. The AI will come by and steal your good stuff. But you can do that later. Hey, 62, we're going to get electrical generation. That's not going to be bad. So that in order to make great use of the electrical generation, we need plenty of wood, so it's not like that's even going to be an issue. But we do need probably more motors. We also need to finish up Chubu, and then we'll probably build I'm not going to wait 3 years to build in Tohoku. That's literally all we need to complete industrialize Japan, right? No, we need Shikoku too. All right. Ooh, God, Jesus Christ, we are on a tear. All right. So we could do total separation. Total separation would make the Buddhist monks pretty mad. So maybe not, because we do want to save making the Buddhist monks pretty mad for a more important law like multiculturalism. Perhaps instead we should just move to a parliamentary republic. Reduced legitimacy penalty from size of government. Legitimacy from clout. I don't know. I think the way to go is to actually go into one of these style of things and just become a republic. I think that becoming a republic would actually be very strong for us at this point. Even if it would drive some of these guys crazy. I just can't imagine wanting to fight them anymore. And we restored Komei, but Komei himself, he's a Republican, right? He doesn't want to be the emperor of Japan. He wants to be the president of Japan, doesn't he, chat? Tell me that's what he wants. That's what Komei really wants. And Komei really wants that because there are people whispering in his ear telling him that he'll totally win, even though they know that that's probably not true, that realistically if we do go into a presidential republic, it'll end up very badly for him. But I think we can just do this. Boom, boom, and boom. Yeah. Yeah. I just like it. I like the flexibility that we have here in this crazy place that we call Victoria 3. That's not strictly necessary. That I am now going off. I'm not giving you a guide anymore. I'm just giving you like the things that I think you can do as Japan if you do an early restoration to make yourself powerful. I think largely are pretty wide open. You can do a lot to make yourself powerful as Japan, though, so don't hold back. You are definitely a great power once you have removed all of the bad stuff. Once you've removed all the bad stuff, you are a great power. We could even just dump a bunch of silk or cotton or whatever up there. Yeah. You know what? That'll be okay. We'll build a little bit of agricultural stuff in Tohoku. It's going to build faster at least. And then we will do the decree over there. Come on. Come on, little one. And that, again, that's going to help us put more of the investment pool to work. It's just helping us build up a little agricultural supply. That's going to be helpful. If you switch over to hardwood, that's worse for you. Okay. Do we have enough explosives? Yes, we do. All right. Good. Good. Nitroglycerin. So you tell me, chat, like what do you think when you're playing as Japan? What do you think the strongest route is? And then like how do you assess that, right? Because if you assess it in your prestige score, if you assess a prestige score in a very short period of time, you're kind of going to be looking at a nonsense number because it's incredibly easily manipulated, right? But if you're doing it with maybe we should just build some more luxury stuff like clothing, right? Textile mills have got to be productive. Tools are pretty productive. Steel is pretty productive. Tools and steel are also pretty productive. There is a tooling workshop and stuff down in Kanto, but I don't even mind having a second tooling workshop. Not necessarily because I'm gonna need it, but because you're probably gonna need two eventually. All right, so we got preserve monarchy. Okay, never mind. All right, never mind. It was just a joke. It's just a joke. We didn't mean it. Did not mean it. There were enough pops in enough different movements that are enough different IGs that did not want that. That is just a non-starter. All right, so religious schools, we need 317 bureaucracy for. So as soon as we have Tohoku, actually, we could do this. We could just go in and set up a school. Yeah, we could set up public schools for sure. Absolutely set up public schools. And by setting up the public schools, we're going to help out with this literacy rate problem. Now we're also at the point, because we did appointed bureaucrats, we're like, I just don't care if we're building government administrations everywhere, as long as we have something to do with the bureaucracy. And we'll have stuff to do with the bureaucracy. Like we haven't leveled up law enforcement. We really haven't done a lot with our bureaucrats. I think that bureaucrats right now are going to be one of the things that once we start engaging with them more and giving them the laws necessary to, make them useful, I think they're really going to take off. All right, crystal glass. We could do water tube boilers. Yeah, that's fine. Like these things, they do reduce the demand for pops to work in those jobs, but that's okay. That's okay, because it translates it into demand for goods, and goods we can fix. Goods we can always fix by just building more of them. And as I said, we're building more of them. We're building a lot more of them. That's okay. None of these things here look like problems to me. Things are going so well here in Japan. And we're gonna have probably 61, 62 completion. Or you gotta be kidding me. Oh no. We haven't finished that yet. Alright. Yeah, once we've done that, then we'll have everything done here. So yeah, we'll have 61, 62 done with all the books. The journal entry. It'll be 61. Or will it be this year? 20 weeks. 410. Yeah, we're gonna get an 1860 journal entry restoration stuff done, and we do have one puppet down here, so we could start moving on more fronts. We could start pushing. We've got good fabric, and the other thing that's really neat about building all of these industrial cash crops, of course, is that if you massively overbuild them, then the people who are going to be working on those are not going to be collecting a particularly high wage, and so they really are just helping the people who work in the industries make more money whenever they're working at such a massive overage. So I just want to emphasize again that you can take parts of this and just parts of this, and then just use the parts that you feel are useful. I would not be offended, but I think that generally the people who play are gonna find that utilizing devout is just so much better than not utilizing devout. You get so much extra work done when fighting the shogunate. Come on, man. Just like finish building the thing so I can finish this episode. Because I want to do it in one shot. So that way we can just show, all right, how can you develop your economy once you've successfully kicked the shogun out of power. Branching out closed, I don't care. Some of these journals are very useful, and some of them are like very meh. Oh, we need a level 10 or greater in order to get that. So we do need to finish up either Kansai or Kanto. I guess Kanto is the capital now, so it should be you. Yeah, you can get a little spicy over here. So that's going to be 20 for each. So that's 60. And then I don't know, there aren't a whole lot of resources here in Kanto that I feel like absolutely compelled to work on, but I guess I could do some more rice farms. Rice farms are going to be helpful because they're just going to decrease the cost of food. And as our population grows, the price of our food is going to be an issue. Sintang? I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. Not for me, man. Yeah, let's just keep an eye on everything going on over here. And just to be clear, if you want to make this efficient, then you just start puppeting people here. I'm not gonna play this one all the way through. I'm just doing this one to 68 because I think that we've done a lot with Komei, and I think I'm very proud with where our guide is, and I think that the more people who use it and who make adjustments and little tweaks to it, the more people will be able to learn. God, now we have so many loyalists. Why do we even have? I'm taxing you. Why are you so loyal to me? Why are you so loyal to me? And there it is. All right, a renewed Japan. Komei restoration successfully complete. Done. All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. This has been Walker. I can't emphasize enough that this is the high quality content that you can get here at We Play Games. Some of the things I'm just kind of like doing because I want to do them, and some of them I'm doing because people have specifically requested, and some I'm doing mostly for science. And this one is kind of a little bit of all three that I think people deserve to understand. Again, that there is just a lot of power involved in being able to remove your shogun early. Especially if you play better than me. That's not that hard. The people who are in my comment thread, pretty much all of them play better than I do. And so if you want to come down and join the community and talk to really smart people and about a really fun and engaging game, then join the community at We Play Games. All right, that's Walker.